Okay, well, it's 7:29 and some other people might show up. But even if they don't, let's enjoy ourselves. Here's Robin. Good morning. Um, Good morning on this blessed Tuesday, July 29th. I hope you're having a relaxing morning so far. Today we are going to start on the mat, on the floor, and if you have cushions, even better. But if you don't have cushions, that's okay. And also, if you have like a reclined chair you wanted to sit on, you can also sit on a reclined chair if that feels good and have the feet kicked up at the beginning. Or you can have some bolsters on a regular harder chair just to give yourself a little extra cushion. The only thing we want is that even if you're in the reclined position, not to kind of like cave in. So we're looking for our heart to be a little bit more open while we guide our body scan and our breath work today. And then we will do our practice standing, but it will still be simple and easy flowing. If you want to do it from a chair still or seated on the mat, you totally can. You don't have to stand at all. I hope you have a beautiful practice. So if you do have cushions, however you'd like to kind of stack them up so that your heart is open. If I have this one long, you see I can have my head behind me and my heart still open. I'm also going to choose to roll this one up underneath my lower back because I have a little bit of cramp pain. So I feel like that might feel nice. So I'm just going to roll this one underneath. And then I'm going to set myself up and make sure that my head is still rested onto the pillow or onto the chair. Just making sure that the heart can be a little bit open and soft. You just want to be able to melt into this posture. And the legs can be in Supta Baddha Konasana if you like, if you're lying on the floor. If that feels too intense or Shavasana feels too intense, you can press the feet into the earth and let the knees crash in towards each other. That just gives a little extra softness in the lower back if you're trying to open that like myself today. And just finding a place that feels comforted and supported. If you feel really cold and you need a blanket, you can put it over top of yourself or a sheet. Just for these moments here as we connect to the mat, connect to the earth, connect to our chair. Just starting to close the eyes and let the eyes get a little bit heavy, like the Sandman is throwing some shovels of sand in the eyes and they're getting heavy, just allowing them to close so that we can get rid of those visual externals and just come within. You can do a quick body scan here as you start to come within. Starting at the feet, breathing into that area as I go through the body, just noticing any areas of tightness or discomfort and breathing into those areas. Started at the feet, and breathing into the ankles, the lower leg, and the knees, and the upper thigh, and the hips, and the bum, the lower back, and the lower belly. Still lying or relaxing in the chair. Breathing into that rib cage and the mid back. And breathing into the shoulder blades and the chest, the heart, and the lungs. Breathing into the hands and the wrists, and the forearms, and the elbows, and the shoulders. Breathing into the rotator cuffs, the tops of those shoulders, allowing them to sink a little further away from the ears. Softening into the neck as you breathe into it. And the muscles surrounding the jaw, the mouth, the cheeks and the nose, the forehead and the eyes, the back of the head, the sides of the head and the ears, right into the crown of the head. Again, taking a few breaths anywhere you might notice it might need a little bit longer. And then just noticing the breath here, noticing the qualities of it, the movement of the inhales and the exhales. As we've done a body scan, probably quite loose and soft in the body, but noticing any areas still that might have tightness or discomfort. Noticing if we're holding tension in the breath, breathing from the area of the chest. Or is the belly naturally filling up at the end of the inhales, breathing like when we were a baby, a small child, before the world got to us. These things breathe beautifully and naturally. Allowing ourselves to use that tool to guide that beautiful breath inside of us. And so if you haven't already began to manipulate the breath, you can just begin to slow it down now. If you can breathe in through the nostrils, allowing the hairs to filter out the impurities in the air, please feel free to do so. If the nose is blocked and all you can do is be breathing through the mouth, also okay. And then when you're allowing that inhale to fill up, just notice again, did it fill up the area of the chest? Did we get the belly nice and full at the inhale? We're not counting the seconds of the breath, we're just noticing it. And on the exhale, you're allowing that belly to come back towards the spine, collapsing the rib cage, deflating the lungs, and the breath fully back out of the mouth. Even that little excess air we're holding on to. Again, inhaling nice and full. Noticing the movement as it moves through the nose or the mouth, the windpipes, filling up the lungs, expanding the rib cage and the belly. The end of the inhale, and then the exhale, allowing ourselves to release that breath nice and slowly as the belly comes towards the spine, relaxing the rib cage, deflating the lungs, breath come back out, the windpipe and out the mouth, completely releasing the breath. Now we're going to try for a count of 4 on the inhale and a count of 6 to 8 on the exhale. Our goal is to just lengthen that exhale out a little bit longer than the inhale so we can really activate that parasympathetic nervous system, activate our vagus nerve, strengthening that vagal tone, allowing the body to release and relax. So we're going to inhale for a count of 4. Feel the breath moving through the body and filling up the belly nice and full. And then when the inhale is nice and full, exhale, beginning to bring that belly back closer to the spine, collapsing the rib cage, deflating the lungs, releasing the breath out the mouth completely. Now I'll count. We'll do that together 5 times. Going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 more times, just like that. Inhale, nice and full. 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more rounds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Last one together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And get rid of any excess air you're still holding on to. And just come back into a beautiful, rhythmic, long, slow, deep breath. We're gonna get ready for our warm up here. So we're just gonna, if the legs were out long or in Supta Baddha Konasana, you can just bend them down. If you have a bolster under the lower back, you can just begin to press the feet into the earth. Lift the bum slightly and just pull that out from underneath here. And then you might also take out the other bolster from underneath you, just rolling over to one side and pushing it over. Giving yourself a little hug, ramming that spine in. Maybe stretching like you're waking up first thing in the morning. And then rolling over into the fetal position just to guide a little bend in the spine here, softness. And then we're going to come up to standing, but if you're going to be seated in your practice, also okay. And we're going to slowly just press the hands into the earth and make our way up into seated and then up into standing if that's where we'd like to be today. If you're seated in your chair, just allowing yourself again to root down those feet, excess flesh from the sit bones, activating the abdominals, sitting up high. If you are in standing with me today, allowing yourself feet about hip width apart, maybe 2 fists between. Getting a nice stability and foundation here, a micro bend in the knees. We don't need to lock them and hurt them or injure them in any way. Hands out beside us. Just taking a few breaths here and really feeling your foundation. Whether you're in the chair or standing, it doesn't matter. Feeling all 4 corners of both feet pressed into the ground. Creating that safety, that security, that rootedness in your practice today. And just taking 2 full breaths here before we start in our spinal warm-up. Being so grateful for being here today. Grateful, my eyes are open, my breath is flowing, and my heart is beating. Allowing my light to guide me through this practice. Hopefully by the end, illuminate everything around me. Planting seeds of hope and love and light. Okay, let's get started on our spinal warm-up. So you can bring the hands to either Somaste or Namaste, hands to prayer. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms come up overhead. You can bring the hands to prayer and you can look up towards the sky, slight heart opener. And then exhale, you can hinge at the hip, bringing the hands forward And down on that release of breath, we're moving with the inhales and exhales here. Then as that inhale is coming back up, we're lengthening back that spine. And then on the exhale, right arm comes down and the left arm reaches to that long diagonal corner with that release of breath. Inhale, bringing both back up to the sky. Exhale, left arm comes down. Strong oblique, strengthening out the right side. Again, you don't have to have the arm raised. You can always do it without the arm raised if that feels uncomfortable for you. And then inhale back up to the sky. Exhale to the hips. Inhale. Spine is long, crown of the head to the sky. Exhale, guide your eyes over to the right leg. Getting a nice twist in the neck, smile. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, looking over to the left. Mild twist in the other direction. Inhale, come back. Exhale, root down. Inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, kick it out away from you. You can do that on the chair or standing. You can also hold something if you need to. Inhale and exhale, come back down. Other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kicking away from you. Inhale, coming back. Exhale, rooting down. Coming back into mountain. And taking one or two nice, relaxing breaths. Feeling that energy moving through our spinal flow today. Taking one more breath here before our next round. Hands to prayer, so must stay. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead. Hands to prayer, maybe looking up a little bit further to the sky. And exhale, hinge at the hip. Reaching those hands long and then down with that release of breath. And then inhale, coming back up nice and long, both hands to the sky. Exhale, right arm comes down and lengthening out the left side of the body with the release of breath. Inhale, coming back to center, both arms to the sky. Exhale, the left arm comes down, lengthening out the right. Inhale, back to the sky. Exhale, down to the hips. Inhale, on the exhale, looking over to the right. Keeping those hips straight and centered. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, root down. Again with the legs. Seated or holding something or balancing. Inhale. Exhale, kick it away from you. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, root it down. Other foot. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, pressing that foot away. Inhale, bring back in. Exhale, root it down. Coming back into mountain. Taking 2 full breaths here. And then we'll do one more round of that. And then you can see my arms. And then bringing the hands again to Somaste or Namaste. Hands to prayer. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up overhead, hands to prayer. Mild heart opener, exhale, hinge at the hips, coming down towards a standing forward fold, just with that release of breath. Then inhale, coming back up, nice and long. Exhale, right arm comes down, lengthening out the left. Inhale, long. Exhale, left arm comes down, lengthening out the right side of the body. Inhale, both arms are raised. Exhale to the hips. Inhale, crown of the head to the sky. Exhale, looking over to the right. It's okay if the shoulders get a slight twist. Hips remain forward. Inhale, come forward. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach down. Inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, kick it away from you. Inhale, back in. Exhale, root down. Other foot. When you feel stable, inhale, lifting the other leg. Exhale, pressing it away from you. Inhale, bringing it back in. Exhale, rooting it back down. Maybe you want to shake out the legs a little bit. Shake out the body if you feel like it. And then just coming back into mountain for 2 to 3 full breaths, or seated in mountain for 2 to 3 full breaths. And then I'll guide our bodies into a little bit more deeper openings, all the way from our head down to our feet. So the first thing we'll do is we'll guide the basket between the hands. If that feels good for you, you don't have to do that. But we're going to bring that, we're going to place the basket just behind the back of the head. And then we're going to allow the elbows to open. So now we have this heart opener, right? Where we're letting the head kind of hang here. You know, if you use the strength or stress the neck in any way, got that micro bend in the knees here. And then we're just looking up towards the sky. Keep it open right now. And we're going to take about 3 to 5 nice, long, slow, deep breaths here. Really getting a nice extension in that neck. Quite often it's flexed. Looking at electronics or sitting for long periods, bad posture. Just feeling that opening. Even open up the elbows a little bit more. And then on this inhale, nice and full. On this exhale, begin to round everything. So you still have that basket behind the head. And now you bring the elbows in towards each other. Chin to chest as you release that exhale. And then inhale as it begins to fill up again. Opening up that space. Opening up the heart. Opening up the lungs, nice breath in here, and exhale again. On the exhale, now begin to round the spine, rounding the upper spine, eventually bringing that chin in towards the chest, that final flexion here. And then again, nice and slow on the inhale. Nice and full, maybe 1% more if you can. And then exhale, slowly rounding it all in. And when you're done that exhale, just releasing the hands from the back of the head. And then bringing that neck to neutral. Seated or standing here in our mountain posture. Maybe rocking a little bit back and forth if that feels good. Or just seated and rooted. Finding your length, strength, and openness. Now we'll stretch into the sides of the neck. You can inhale. On the exhale, guiding the left ear towards the left shoulder. Inhale, soft. We stay where we are. Go with breath. And exhale, you might guide that ear a little bit closer towards the shoulder with the release of breath. If you want, you can use that left hand to guide that right ear down a little bit deeper. If you want a little extra length and opening, and you can touch that hand onto the ear just slightly, or you can press a little deeper. You can feel what works for you today. All I know is rushing and injuring ourselves never works. So just being soft and slow with yourself. Taking one more full breath here. As that exhale is released, with the hands on the ear, just softly removing it. Recentering the head, taking a breath or two. We go straight into the other side. That's when we can create injury. So we want to go nice and peacefully and slowly with ourselves. I think everything else in life is about rushing and moving too quickly and multitasking. And in moments like this, we really just now need to allow ourselves and honor ourselves with this slowness, this peacefulness, no rush in any way. So inhale. On the exhale, now we can guide the right ear towards the right shoulder. On the exhale. Again, if it feels good, you can take that right arm and place it above the left ear, guiding that length in the left side of the neck a little further. On the inhale, softening. On the exhale, as we release the breath, lengthening a little bit further, right ear a little closer to that shoulder. 2 more full breaths here. And then as you release that exhale, just releasing the hand from the side of the head if it's there. Bringing the arms back down beside the body. Again, re-rocking to find your foundation, micro bend in the knees. Connecting to your breath. Now we'll go into some deeper side bends after a couple breaths here. Again, if you don't want the arms raised, you don't have to. But if you would, you can inhale, arms up overhead. My hands are interlocked, pointer fingers to the sky, if you can't see it in the video. Or you can do it anyway, which feels good to you. Again, that micro bend in the knees. We're rooted into the feet, strong in the abdominals, reaching long. Inhale. And on the exhale, guide that body over to the left, lengthening out the right side. Again, when it's time for the inhale, soften. We have an itchy chin. Fill with breath. And exhale, as you release the breath, come down a little bit further, guiding that length a little bit more, but still keeping the strength in the left side of the body. Again, soften, fill with breath. Exhale, sink a little deeper. Taking a little longer with each posture after our spinal warm-up, nourishing the joints. Now we're just allowing them a little bit more openness and strength here. As you release that last exhale, come back to center. You can release the hands for a minute. If you have them raised, you want to shake them out, feel free to do so. Then you can switch the grip, maybe the opposite of what you did before. If that feels good, or keep the arms down, raising the arms up overhead. Then inhale. Root down, micro bend in the knees again. Exhale, guiding that left side of the body open as we bend over to the right. Keeping those obliques strong, helping us guide even more length. Having the ear line up if the arms are raised with the arm. Keeping our gaze looking forward. We might even look up towards the sky if that feels good for you. Taking one more full breath here, feeling that length and that strength, and then come back to center and slowly release the arms if they're not already. Just shaking them out, back into mountain. Coming back into the beauty of the breath. Notice if the mind starts racing in these moments of rest, of quietness. Allowing yourself to accept those thoughts and send them on their way. We're just going to do a standing mild twist. You can bring the left arm around the right hip, guiding a twist, and you can bring that right arm behind you. If you're seated, it's the same twist that we've always done. The arm is the side or behind, And you can bring the left hand onto the outside of the right knee. This is just a mild twist in the spine. We're going to inhale, lengthen on the exhale, kind of twist it a little further. Maybe squeezing the abdominals at the same time. Inhale, long, exhale, maybe twist a little more. Taking 2 more full breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then coming back to center, neutralizing the spine before we twist it out in the other direction. So when you want to twist it out in the other direction, now we're going to take that right arm and bring that right hand around the left hip, the left arm behind us to guide the twist. Or again, if you're seated, left arm is going to be beside or behind you, and that right hand is going to come to the outside of the left knee. So again, soft on the inhale, fill with breath, exhale. Guide that twist a little further. It doesn't matter even if it's just one tiny little millimeter. We're just showing ourselves some love and moving our body in all the directions we can go. Reminding us of this beautiful tool that we have. We should keep it lubricated and nourished and loved. Now you can release that twist, coming back to center. Seated again, excess flash away from the sit bones. We're standing in mountain, feet rooted down. Tree is strong. One more breath here. We're going to go into the standing forward fold. If you want to go into the chair, remember you can do it with the feet just rooted and the knees bent. If you want, you can put the feet out a little further, having the heels out and the toes coming towards you on the chair. If you're in Uttanasana here, you can just keep the feet rooted down. We're going to inhale, our arms up overhead. And then on the exhale, hinge at the hip. Whether you're seated or you're standing, we're still flat back. We're hinging at the hip just like in that final warm-up. And keep going down. And now you may have finished your exhale, but you're going to continue melting down. So you're either resting onto your thighs on the chair or your thighs on standing. And the legs might be bent enough so that the belly can rest onto the thighs and the arms can hang beside you. Or you can grab onto opposite elbows. You can even nod the head yes or no, if that feels good for you. You might even straighten out the legs a little bit more by rooting the feet down, not locking the knees. Only if that feels good for you. We're not using any tension in the neck or the head, just letting it hang heavy and release. And taking 3 more full breaths here. Opening up the back of the legs. Just like with the neck, we need that extension, we need that opening in the back of the legs from sitting for long periods. And then allowing your arms to release if they are holding on the opposite elbow. And press the hands into the shins for a flat back as you fill out. And exhale, just melt again. And then inhale, slowly walk yourself back up to standing. Coming into mountain. Just being with your breath. Maybe noticing any sensations after that deep forward fold. Then we're going to go into chair pose, and you can do chair pose on the chair. So if you are sitting onto the chair, actually I'm just gonna grab it. If you are seated onto the chair for mountain, you're just gonna sit and root down the feet like normal, but you're gonna activate those feet into the earth, and you're activating the legs towards each other. So you're really trying to activate all the muscles here. So even when we're seated, we can still root down and activate, and you can keep the arms out in front of you if that feels good. Okay? When we pulse, you can either just pulse by rooting your feet down constantly into the earth, or you can lift slightly as if you're trying to come out of the chair, just noticing the muscles as you are doing this. So that's your option if you're seated. If you are standing with me today, we'll bring the feet slightly closer together. And then you're going to sit back as if you're sitting into a chair. Yes? So noticing here, sensations as we're coming down. You don't have to lift the arms right away or at all, actually. You're just noticing as you're coming down, activating the muscles, rooting the feet down, squeezing the legs together. And then if it feels good, bringing the arms out in front. And then if you'd like, you can pulse a little bit, just activating those leg muscles with your breath, moving up and down. And then for the last 3 breaths, whether you're seated or standing, you're gonna come down a little further, and you're gonna hold here for 3 breaths. If you're seated in the chair, you're gonna really activate those muscles by pressing the feet into the ground, and do that for 3 full breaths as well. Mm-hmm. And then again, if you're seated or if you're standing, what we did before in the warm-up. So I'm going to hold on to the side of the wall just to show you that it's an option. We're going to bring the leg up. Now your option today, if you want the challenge, sorry about that. Here we
Welcome
go.
back.
Thank you. I lost the internet. Come on, moving along. Vámonos. I don't know what happened then. Okay, so here we were. We were standing, holding on to the side of the wall. Bringing one leg up, so you're rooting down again into that base foot. Inhale, you're lifting. You don't have to hold. You can activate the balance the whole time. Exhale, pressing away from you. Inhale, filling up. And exhale, coming back down. Again, we're going to come up. Inhale. Exhale, pressing it away from you. Inhale, coming back forward. And exhale, rooting it back down. We're going to do it one more time on that side. Inhale. Exhale, press it away. Inhale, coming forward. And exhale, root it down. Okay, now that leg can rest. If you want to shake it out, feel free to do so. Again, other side. Well, let's just take a couple breaths here. And then doing it on the other side. Again, if you need to hold on to something, rooting down into that base foot. Trying to keep those hips strong. Inhale, lift that leg. Exhale, kick it away from you. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, root it down. Remember, you can do this on the chair just the same as standing. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, kicking it away. Inhale, bring it back in. Exhale, down. Just lightly. We're going to do 2 more rounds of that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it down. And one last time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, press that foot away from you, activating those quadriceps. Inhale, bring it in. And exhale, root that leg down. Shake it out if you like. Coming back into mountain. And then again, if you're seated or lifted, we're just going to lift the right foot. If you're standing too, you can again hold on to the wall if you need to. We're just going to guide some ankle circles here. 5 in both directions. Again, if you don't want to hold the wall and you want to activate that balance, that challenge, feel free to do so. When you're done 5 in both directions, just squeeze that foot in as much as you can. And then let it go. Shake it out. Take 2 breaths here. And we'll do the other side. Rooting down, using a wall if you need to, or just lifting the legs from the chair. And guiding some ankle circles, 5 in both directions. And then when you're done, circles in both directions, just squeezing that foot in together, holding it for a second, and then allowing it to release. And shaking it out if you need to. One more posture, one more peripersonal space will create our aura of light. Bringing your hands to heart center to prayer here. And again, we need to rock back and forth. Feel free to do so. Root down, micro bend in the knees. We're going to inhale, bring the arms up overhead. So you're going to create that peripersonal space around us. That's like our aura of light. Yes, we're going to bring it up over our head. And then we're going to exhale. We're going to guide that breath through the physical body. And as we pass the heart center, you're just going to open the prayer hands and press that light down to the earth. Okay, so you're going to inhale, arms up overhead. Filling up with our light, our love. Exhale. Guiding that breath down, through, out through the feet. 3 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So sliding my glasses keep sliding off my nose. And last one, inhale. Exhale. Now as you exhale, brings your hands to your heart center. Keep them there. Keep slowing the breath, pressing the hands towards each other and bringing the elbows up slightly, getting a nice opening in this part of the wrist. Holding here for 3 breaths. And 1 more. And then bending our wrist in the opposite direction. As you release that exhale, you can release the hands. And now you're going to press the tops of the hands together. You're going to bring the elbows like down towards each other. So you're getting a nice kind of a stretch here. We're going to hold that for 3 full breaths. And then you'll slowly release that with the release of breath. We're going to slowly make our way down. So now again, if you'd like, you can be in the reclined chair with cushions with the feet up, or you can grab some cushions for our meditation here, or if you just want to lie in Shavasana, also okay. Whatever you would like to do for your practice. If you need a blanket or an eye cover, feel free to do so. Just slowly making your way back down now to where we started today. I'm going to put my pillow out long again. I don't think I'm going to use that for my lower back. I'm going to bring a cushion underneath me, allowing my head to still be raised. Even I can use this one, actually, to bring it up a little bit higher. I don't want my head to be lower than my heart. And so when you're in your position, whether it's in a reclined chair or a chair with cushions or Shavasana on the floor with cushions or none at all, just allowing yourself to find a place of relaxation and rest. Maybe the legs are out long and wide, or again, you want to protect the lower back, you might have those legs bent, feet mat width apart, and then the knees crashing in towards each other. And the arms can be out wide beside you, or one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. And you're just softening the muscles in the jaw, noticing if the teeth are clenched together, letting them melt apart. Tongue softly melts away as well. We're going to do a couple rounds of bee breath here. It's just humming. And it's the same as when chanting Om or chanting one of your favorite mantras. The vibration of the sound actually creates vibrations to heal and activate and strengthen our vagus nerve and that healing, that relaxation within our body. So all you're going to do is just come back into your breath. And when you're ready, in a few rounds of inhales and exhales, I'll tell you to begin humming. And you don't have to cover your eyes at first or plug the ears. You just feel the vibrations of the And it doesn't matter if it's high or it's low. This does not matter. We're just creating that vibration on the exhale as we So finding that comfortable space for yourself. And then inhale through the nose if you can. And Inhale. Again. Om. One more time together. Om. Now we're going to cover our eyes and plug our ears for the last 3 rounds. If you'd like, you can bring your hands together and just rub them back and forth, bringing some heat to them. That'll guide a little bit more softness and relaxation in those eye muscles. And then you're going to cover the eyes with the hands. And those thumbs are used to plug off the ears when you hum. Okay, so we'll do 3 more rounds. Inhale. Again, inhale. Last one, inhale. Release that last humming or bee breath or om. Releasing the hands from the eyes and the ear. Feeling any extra relaxation that has brought you. Now, if you want to bring the legs out for Shavasana, you can, or you can keep them bent here still. You can keep the cushions underneath you or readjust them as needed. I'm doing another body scan first before I guide you through a short visualization meditation. So just breathing into the feet and the ankles. Breathing into the calves and the shins. Breathing into all sides of the knees, the front, the sides, and the back of them. Breathing into the upper leg. Breathing into the bum and the hips, the muscles surrounding this area. We hold a lot of tension in our hips, a lot of memories, allowing ourselves to breathe a couple extra nice, beautiful breaths of love here. Breathing into the lower back and the lower belly. And into the mid back, and the rib cage. And breathing into the chest, the heart, the lungs, the upper back. Breathing into the fingers, and the hands, the wrist. Breathing into the forearm, the elbows, the upper arm, the upper shoulders, and the collarbone. Breathing into the back, the side, the front of the neck. Breathing into the back of the head, It sinks a little deeper into your cushion or the mat, chair, the sides of the head and the muscles surrounding the ears. Breathing into the muscles surrounding the mouth and the jaw. Again, softening any tension there. The cheeks and the nose. The eyes and the temples. The forehead. The crown of the head. Feeling that relaxation all the way from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. And as you lie here in complete relaxation, you actually can visualize yourself walking up towards a very, very dark, dark forest. There is absolutely no way to see what is ahead in this forest. It's completely pitch black. But then from the sky, a lantern falls directly into your hand, and the light within you in your Manipura center is just enough to light that lantern for your walk. As you illuminate your lantern and bring it in towards the path, you can see everything all around. It's not scary in any way. There's a beautiful carved path just for us to walk today. The light shines on the trees and the plants and the bodies of water all around. You can hear birds singing and insects making noise, but in a most beautiful and peaceful way. You can feel the leaves crunching underneath your feet and sticks snapping. But again, the light in our lantern guides us through this peaceful walk, just for us, absorbing all of the elements of nature. And then as we get to the other side of the path, we sit down and relax again into our space, taking our lantern and putting it beside us, grabbing the light from the lantern and putting it back within us, and realizing that light is within us always to help guide us on our path each and every single day. And then coming back, if you would like to come into seated to end our class today, if you're not there already, you can just begin wiggling the fingers and the toes, wrist or ankle circle. If you have cushions underneath you, just softly allowing you to pull them out from underneath you. Roll into the side slightly to get them out. And then stretching nice and long, like you're waking up first thing in the morning, only if you're lying down or stretching in a seated position as well. And then rolling over into a fetal position again, using your arm as a pillow for a breath or two. And then slowly pressing your hand into the earth and guiding yourself up into seated. Again, if that's where you'd like to be, or stay in Shavasana, please stay as long as you'd like.